Hey everyone, it's Wade here with your Thursday Spot on Pagan Perspective with my first video of 2011. Hopefully this year's going to be a bit better than the last one. I hope you all had a fantastic new year. I spent it in Brighton, which I've never been to before, and although it was absolutely freezing cold, it was actually a really nice New Year's, probably the best that I have had so far. So yeah, thank you to my partner for that. So yeah, this week's subject is candle magic, blessings, centering yourself and smudging. So yeah. On the subject of candle magic, I tend to use that, I have actually used a lot of candle magic previous. What I've found is that towards the latter of 2010 I haven't done really any practical work apart from the tarot, simply because I really haven't had time. There's been a lot that I've had to deal with, both personal things, uni work, obviously relationship things. There's been a lot of things on my plate, so I haven't really been able to get around to do a lot lately, because you know how things get a bit hectic. So what I have done in the past is I've actually worked a lot with candle magic and like inscribing and dressing a candle, simply because I find that physical forms of working with things like that are actually, I find, more effective, because I can actually see them physically happening, like the burning of the candle. Cara mentioned actually in her video the other day that she and her mom burnt a candle down gradually overnight, and I've done that before as well. I think it all depends obviously on which you feel more comfortable with, but candle magic I do use a lot, and I think it is primarily because I do connect with seeing some kind of change happen on a physical level. It helps me to manifest things in my brain, and also because I'm quite a creative person, I like to dress up the candle with obviously the corresponding oils, the symbols. I find that quite fun as well, kind of looking for what you want to put in there. Just putting the personal touch, I think, is what I'm attracted to with candle magic and candles just generally used in ritual. So I do actually have a whole cabinet full of candles, which I actually don't ever use. Well, I haven't used since I got the cabinet, because I actually haven't been able to do any work. Obviously not because of Cara's thing, because I don't live at uni. I actually live at home. It's just, the thing is, I find it hard to find some time where I can actually sit down and know that nobody's going to disturb me while I'm working. And because it's been so hectic over the past half of a year, I found it to just kind of keep my religious practices to myself, you know, more kind of mental things like a prayer or something like that. So candle magic I do love, but haven't used it as much lately. Blessings, it depends. What if we're talking about like consecrating things, I tend to, exactly like Cara said, use water, simply because I have a connection with water, and two, because I again like to see a physical thing happening. Smoke I use when I can't get to water, obviously, and I also find that quite nice, but I also, again, I prefer there to be something that I can touch, you know what I mean? It's just the kind of thing that I've developed, and that's what I feel more comfortable with. Obviously you all have your different opinions on that. I can't personally, I can bless things personally with finger or with a wand and stuff like that, but I feel when I'm consecrating tools, I personally need to be there to be a more physical take on that consecration. Next subject is centering. I find centering to be incredibly important in anyone's practicing. Before I was introduced to it, I would just go willy-nilly and things would happen wrong, things wouldn't happen most of the time. So I think that centering just really brings yourself together, even not on just a psychic state, even just on a normal mental level that you're working at day to day. It's great to kind of calm yourself down, because at the end of the day there are a lot of pressures in life, and there's a lot of stress in life, and sometimes you just need to kind of bring the energies together and kind of just have a bit of it's kind of like a rest, I find. Even though you're not resting, you're centering yourself and you're focusing, but I just find that it really does relax you, and it kind of, any stresses that are actually still there don't seem as stressful. Some of you may disagree with that, but I always find that centering is that important. I think that you should, I personally don't do anything, not even read tarot, without centering, because it allows me to focus. I need that kind of grounding, I need that kind of clearance, especially with the kind of things that go on in the day. I mean, lately, I'm running here, there and everywhere, going up to Redditch, going to uni in Birmingham, coming back to where I live, which is an hour outside of Birmingham. And Redditch is about an hour, but when I'm going on the bus and the train, it's 2 hours from me, so I'm going here, there and everywhere, and then obviously doing things in between there. And sometimes I do need to kind of just think, hold on, I'm also practising witchcraft at the same time, and kind of take what I know from that to kind of apply it to just normal casual life. So centering's important for me. The last one's smudging. Now this is really bad, but the only time I buy smudge sticks is because I don't actually use them for smudging. I actually just break them off into little bits, which is very rare actually. I usually just put the whole thing in the cauldron, and then we just have quite a large bonfire of sage, which is what I did for Beltane. I don't know why. It's really dangerous as well. We did it, was it Lither? I think it was Lither about 3 years ago, 2008 it was. Did it with a group of girls that came over my house, and I decided to put burning sage in a glass bowl, which was not a good idea at all, because then it obviously exploded everywhere. But I never actually used sage or any smudge sticks for cleansing. That could be quite a bad thing actually, but it makes a nice fire when you burn a load of it, and a lot of smoke as well. But that adds to the effect, you know what I mean? And kind of, I suppose it did cleanse the ritual, because we were throwing wishes in a bowl. So I suppose it added to that. But I haven't actually used smudge sticks for their actual reason. I just thought it was quite nice to, because generally the shops around me don't sell herbs. So when you do, you generally, most likely you're just going to see a smudge stick of sage. So I kind of have to make the most of that. So I just use that as my herbs, and obviously I'm not going to burn paper to make a little fire in my cauldron. It just adds that little spark to my rituals. So I don't really know what else to say. They're my views, and I'd love to hear what you have to think about the subjects below. I've just gone and bought, actually I need an opinion, I've just bought the Shadowscapes Tarot, which of course if you've seen it is absolutely beautiful, which is just kind of a traditional tarot deck. So, but I had been looking for something a bit more different, and I didn't want to quite go over to the runes side, because I find it difficult to work with runes. So I started looking at the transparent tarot. I don't know if any of you have heard of that, which is like a tarot which is transparent sheets, and you overlay them with each other, and they form different images because they're very simplistic. I was going to get that, but one, it's too expensive, and two, I kind of wanted something, which is mentioned on a forum actually, that was like, if it's going to be that different to tarot, I'd rather have something, a completely different structure, so I didn't apply tarot to it when you've got the whole layering thing with it. So I've had a look at, Emily's now bought out a tarot oracle, which is circular. Check it out, I'll probably put the link below. It's really, I'm not even endorsing this, it is really gorgeous. They're basically just transparent sheets cut into 70 cards, and they are beautiful, and you overlay them and they just create like a completely different reading altogether. So I spent all my money on that other deck and everything, and now I've got no money to buy this, so I think I might have to put it on my credit card, which isn't good, but I really want it. I do get paid at the end of the month, but I don't know what to do. But yeah, check Transparent Oracle and Transparent Tarot out, they are really nice. And also let me know if any of you have ever used the Shadowscapes Tarot. Let me know how it reads for you and what you think of it. Okay, so have a great weekend. It's a bit of a shame to think a week ago today you was all getting ready to get drunk. And don't lie to me, we know all the pagans like to get drunk. So yeah, have a great weekend, and I'll see you next Thursday on The Pagan Perspective. Blessed be. Peace out.